This is Pete coming at you again with another episode of North Florida Smoke. In today's episode, I'm making beef plate ribs. You can start to see a little smoke behind me here. Got the recteq rolling right over my shoulder there. They're gonna be a little brisket on a stick. I got them covered up in holy cow today, so excited for this cook and for the results later on. Please make sure to like, rate, and subscribe. Thanks for checking out our videos to this point, and look forward to some more in the future. So thanks for stopping by. Let's get into these plate ribs. We got our beef ribs here, and we're gonna go ahead and get those seasoned up. Show you on the side here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 nice size kind of dinosaur bones here with a good amount of meat on top. And these should end up being kind of brisket on a stick is what we're going for there. So we're gonna leave the silver skin on the back. I'm not gonna take that off because that's gonna help hold these things together as that meat shrinks off the bone. So we're gonna cook these low and slow tomorrow. They're probably gonna take around the same time that we'd expect a brisket would take. And so before we get that on, we're gonna go ahead and get these seasoned up. What I'm gonna do is take our holy cow and season that liberally over the top. And I wanna get a good amount of coverage here and trying to avoid those chunks and stuff going on. If I do get chunks, I'll take my other hand and break those up. Get this fully covered, and then once that's had a chance to settle, then I'll go ahead, flip it over, and season up the other side of our ribs. Ribs have been chilling for a minute, covered up with this holy cow. So we'll go ahead and get these flipped over. We're gonna lose some of it, but this will just kind of hold on to our other side. And then we'll go ahead and get the back seasoned up here. So these are gonna dry brine in our fridge overnight. And then early tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get them on the smoker, 225 degrees. I'm gonna cook them like a brisket. This thing is nice and seasoned up now. And I'm gonna give this a few minutes to chill here, and then I'll move it over to my cookie sheet and get it out in the fridge in the garage for the night. So here's our beef ribs. Those are looking excellent, rubbed up here, just nice and good with our holy cow. And this is nice and heavy over the top, and that's excellent. That's gonna sink down into the meat overnight here. And this is gonna help us create a nice bark on the outside of these. All right, good morning, guys. We're out here on the patio. We got our beef plate ribs that are ready to go on to the smoker. It's around 7:30 in the morning here. I'm expecting these to take anywhere between about 8 and 12 hours. If they do come off early, they're just gonna go to rest into a cool microwave wrapped in a towel. And so for now, let's get these beef ribs on. Everything's looking good here. We're gonna let this thing roll. The ribs have been rolling here for a little over 2 hours. You wanna take a look? See, they're starting to brown up on the outside there. Those bones are just gonna start popping out through, and this stuff's just gonna sink right up onto the bones there. So these are looking excellent, and we're gonna keep it rolling. So it's been about 4 hours on these ribs. We're gonna go in and take a look. Ooh, that is looking excellent. It's starting to pull away from the bone in the back there, show you that. And these things look great. Do a little check-in on our beef ribs here, see what they're looking like. Pretty good. See there, those bones are starting to pop out, and we're getting kind of floppy here. So this is looking great. So we're out here doing a check on our ribs. They're at 196 right now on this probe, and they're looking great, popping right off here. We're gonna start probing around, see where they're at. And we're looking for probe tender here. So this has got me closer to about 190. It's still a little tough. So I want this thing to pull right out like butter. So we're still not there yet. Our ribs are hovering right at the 203 mark. So we'll take a look here. Those are looking really good. It's looking like Joe Exotic's boyfriend from Tiger King. And that's what you want with your beef ribs. So we're gonna probe these up and see where we're at. So that's probe tender, where it's the probe just pops right out when you pull at it, and that's what we want. So this is probing pretty solid throughout here, 200, 201, around the 198 area, 196. I'm pretty happy with just the consistency here. So we're gonna go ahead and get these pulled off. All right, we got our beef ribs off here. We'll give you a little look-see. Those are looking excellent. Dino bones here. I'm gonna take an old towel and I'm just gonna lay that over the top. Not really gonna wrap it up. I'm just gonna kind of lay it on top and rest it. And then I'm gonna put it into my nice cool oven. This is just gonna rest in here for probably a little over an hour or so until we're ready to cut her up. All right, guys, these are our beef ribs. They're looking excellent. They've been sitting in our oven covered in a towel for about the last 2 hours or so. And we're gonna get these sliced up and see how we did. So we're just gonna cut right down the bone here. And we'll cut these each individually. We got 4 separate bones. And we'll work at getting these off here. And then we'll take a look and see what we got. So that's our beef rib. These look excellent. So these are like little brisket on a stick here. Got a nice smoke ring, nice bark on the outside. These things look great. Can't wait to dig in. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of North Florida Smoke. Please make sure to like, rate, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.